What is up, YouTube gang? It's your boy Friday Random Media, and I'm back on this Friday with another video. And today, we're going over one of my favorite series on the channel, the What If series. I have a whole playlist dedicated to this series, so go check it out on my channel. Now, if you're a Star Wars fan or a Mace Windu fan, hit that like and subscribe button, because today we are diving into what if Mace Windu survived. More specifically, what if Mace Windu survived Revenge of the Sith? Now, first, let's start off talking about the origin of Mace Windu, the Jedi legend. Mace Windu's story begins on the war-torn and turbulent planet of Harun Kal. Born into a world filled with strife and violence, young Mace Windu displayed an exceptional affinity for the Force from an early age. It wasn't long before the Jedi Order recognized his potential and welcomed him into their ranks. Now, we're going to dive into a little bit about Mace Windu's powers with the Force and his training as a Jedi. Now let's talk about Mace Windu's special power within the Force, Shatterpoint, a unique gift. One of Mace Windu's most distinctive abilities was Shatterpoint. This remarkable power allowed him to perceive the vulnerabilities and weak points in both allies and adversaries. Moreover, Shatterpoint enabled Mace to peer into potential future outcomes, often referred to as Shatterpoints themselves. This uncanny talent made him a formidable force in battle, both as a Jedi and a general. Now, how did Mace Windu come to harness these powers and hone these gifts? Masters of the Force, Tirasah, and Cicilline Mir. In the expansive Star Wars Legends universe, Mace Windu's Jedi Master was Tirasah, a revered figure in Jedi history. However, in the official Star Wars canon, his master was actually revealed to be Cicilline Mir. Under Master Mir's guidance, young Padawan Mace Windu's natural inclination towards combat was honed, molding him into a formidable warrior. Balancing the dark side tendencies. Mace Windu was not without his struggles. His aggressive nature and attitude hinted at a potential connection to the dark side. Yet, Master Cicilline Mir played a pivotal role in helping him navigate these darker emotions. Instead of succumbing to the temptations of the dark side, young Mace learned to channel his inner turmoil directly into his combat style, which made him extremely dangerous. So this brings us to the birth of Vaapad, a dangerous path. As Mace's Jedi journey progressed, he delved into Form 7 of lightsaber dueling known as Juyo. But Mace was not content with the status quo, and he ventured further, crafting his own unique variation called Vaapad. Both forms were renowned for their aggression and unpredictable techniques. Vaapad, however, had an additional dimension. It redirected the power of the dark side directly by channeling it through combat. This brings us to Vaapad's perilous legacy. Vaapad's effectiveness in battle was undeniable, but it came at a cost. It was so dangerous that even the wise Master Yoda expressed concerns about its teachings and its practice. Over time, Mace Windu made the difficult decision to cease teaching Vaapad. The allure of the dark side it posed proved too tempting for young Padawans and even the seasoned Jedi Masters, making it a path better left untraveled. The showdown between Emperor Palpatine. Mace Windu's mastery of Vaapad would be put to the ultimate test in his iconic duel against Emperor Palpatine. In this one-on-one showdown, many argue that Mace had the upper hand in a fair fight, showcasing the sheer power and effectiveness of Vaapad. Although, some would argue that Palpatine lost on purpose to draw Anakin to the dark side, but Mace could have ended it right there. Wrapping up Mace's story, in the twilight of his life, Mace Windu ascended to the ranks of the Jedi Council amongst the esteemed and powerful Jedi like Yoda and Ki-Adi-Mundi. Mace stood as a stern and unwavering figure. He's often regarded as one of the most powerful Jedi, second only to the great Yoda. Mace Windu's journey from a war-torn planet to Jedi Master, his unique abilities, and his legacy in the Star Wars universe make him a character worth celebrating and remembering, as we all do. That's what leads us to the question of what if Mace Windu survived? So let's go over a few scenarios here, starting with the Jedi Resistance. If Mace Windu somehow managed to survive the brutal duel with Emperor Palpatine and escape the perilous fall from the window, one potential outcome is that he could have used the Force to sustain himself long enough to find Obi-Wan and Yoda and the remaining Jedi. If they could rally the Jedi Order before the execution of Order 66, there's a fighting chance that they could thwart Palpatine's sinister plan and maybe bring Anakin Skywalker back from the brink of darkness. However, Mace's injuries and exhaustion would most likely be so severe, and the timeline between his survival and the execution of Order 66 was so tight, it's a tough bet that he could have pulled this off, but it is the Star Wars universe, so anything could happen. Now, moving on to scenario 2, which I think is a little bit more plausible. Probably the most probable here, Mace Windu, Jedi Exile. Another intriguing possibility is that Mace Windu survived Order 66 in the fall of the Jedi, but chose to go into exile, but a little differently from Obi-Wan and Yoda. Mace might have taken a different path, one that led him to tread the fine line between the light and the dark sides of the Force as he did when he was a Jedi. In this scenario, Mace would have operated incognito in the underground criminal world, sporting a new appearance and keeping his Jedi identity hidden. He might have undergone mechanical and cybernetic enhancements to recover from his injuries, giving him a badass look that matches his new persona. But there's a major obstacle in this story as well. Boba Fett, the son of Jango Fett, whom Mace Windu personally defeated and beheaded. Boba still carries a blazing grudge against the Jedi, especially Mace Windu in this story. And this could lead to intense conflicts where Mace has to decide whether to reveal his Jedi heritage using the Force and his iconic purple lightsaber, or he resorts to cunning hand-to-hand combat, street smarts, and his connections in the criminal underworld. Picture this: Mace Windu, hunted by Boba Fett and a gang of relentless bounty hunters, navigating the shadows of the galaxy, staying one step ahead. I think it could be a pretty epic what-if movie or TV series. Moving on to our third and final scenario, we're going to see how big of a role Mace Windu could have if he turned to the dark side. The dark side and the redemption. What if Mace Windu succumbed to his injuries but survived, falling deep into the clutches of the dark side of the Force, much like how Darth Maul survived his injuries? Instead of embracing greed or power, Mace's journey into darkness would be driven by revenge against Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. In this scenario, Mace would harness his inner darkness to recover from his injuries, making him a formidable dark side practitioner. Mace Windu's initial target, as I said before, not only Emperor Palpatine, but also the newly anointed Darth Vader, formerly known as Anakin Skywalker, the Jedi who not only betrayed Mace Windu and the Jedi Order, but the prophecy of the Force. Mace Windu's grudge against them would fuel his power and his rage. What sets Darkseid Windu apart is his unique approach. He'd take on dark apprentices, creating a force to be reckoned with. He would establish his own Dark Jedi Temple, but rejecting the Sith title, while at the same time rivaling Palpatine and Vader directly. I imagine epic clashes between Darkseid Windu and his purple saber versus Vader and his red saber. I imagine Darkseid Windu having some sort of purple force lightning or something like that. That would be sick. Here's where it gets even more interesting though, especially for Mace Windu's character arc, which would be, could Darkseid Windu eventually encounter Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, maybe even Luke Skywalker? Might they be the catalyst for redemption, bringing him back to the light side? This storyline could introduce a whole new dimension to Mace Windu's character on top of him turning to the dark side, exploring a complex interplay between his darkness and the redemption in the Force. Now, if Darkseid Mace Windu and Vader were to clash, I think Darkseid Mace Windu would take it rather easy, especially with his newly formed Darkseid Vapod variant. I think that Darth Vader would be too inexperienced with his suit. He wouldn't be able to move as fast as he'd like. His suit would actually be a big hindrance here, and Darkseid Mace Windu would take it not too high difficulty at all. The real challenge would be Emperor Palpatine, who's been soaking in all this power. He's had time to regain his strength and fully come to his own as a Sith Lord. Ultimately, though, I think Mace Windu, especially Darkseid Mace Windu, would beat Emperor Palpatine high difficulty. And it would be so cool to have Obi-Wan, Yoda, and maybe even Luke Skywalker come back, like I said, and bring him back to the light. So there we have it. What if Mace Windu survived Revenge of the Sith? Thank you guys for stopping by and tuning in. Remember, I release a video every Friday, so comment down below what you want to see next, and if you want to see more what-if scenarios, more Star Wars videos, whatever you want to see. Also, I want to remind you guys, I'm releasing my own comic book anthology at the end of this year, December 2023. It's coming up fast, guys, so I'm going to put out a video talking about all the characters and where the story is going to go and where you can get this comic. So if you want to check out my comic characters, check out the links in the description below. Also, follow me on TikTok by the same name, Friday Random Media. I want to say thank you guys for stopping by and tuning in. And as always, have a great day. Peace out.